Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Connie Douglas from Great Stamping with Connie. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada, and I would like to welcome you to CraftSpot. It's uh, it's my crafting adventure, so thank you so much for joining me on this adventure as we wander down the crafting path. And sometimes we know where we're going, and sometimes we just, follow the path and see where we end up. But it's all good and it's all fun. And thank you for hanging out with me today. So if you are hanging out with me, do say hello. I am just going to get it up here so I can see people's comments and things. Uh, Feel free to give me a comment to let me know that you're here, or whether you're watching the replay, or whatever you're up to. And if you like what you see, give me some thumbs up or some hearts or whatever. Uh, the Facebook algorithms like it. I like it too. I like to know that I'm doing things that you are enjoying. So that's all part of the feedback. But anyway, thank you for hanging out with me, either live or on the replay. I hope that you enjoy what I'm about to share. And today we are going to do some Hanukkah cards. So Hanukkah starts on Friday. Friday? I think it's Friday. Um, oh, look, there's a thumbs up. Thank you. um, Hanukkah is starting very soon anyway. And so there's not really, hi, Janet, welcome. Not really enough time to order the set that I'm using today and have it arrive and have time to make some cards before Hanukkah starts. But it's a wonderful set. We haven't had a Hanukkah set for a few years now. And so I was sort of hanging on to my old one, which wasn't necessarily my favorite one, but it served a purpose. Um, but I really like this new one that they've come out with. Tons of variety in it. So I'm going to show you that in just a moment. Uh, just trying to think if there's anything else I need to tell you. I don't know that there's anything else I need to tell you right now. Um, it seems like there should be, because it's been a very exciting couple of days. As a demonstrator, we get to see the catalogs early, as I think I've mentioned before, and we get to order from them early. So yesterday, we were allowed to start ordering from the new mini catalog that will go live for customers in January. We were also, we are now able to earn celebration rewards. So that's free stuff. So like, I'm on board. Show me the free stuff. But there are some awesome things that you can select for free, and there's additional bonuses if you host and have orders, qualifying orders, or if you join. So if you would like to join my team, I would love to have you. Um, Reach out to me and I can give you all the information. There's some perks to joining in January for sure, but there's also some reasons why you may want to join right now so that you can be ready to kick off uh, January and celebration and share it with all your friends and your family, and everybody can get free stuff, because it's not really fair that we hog it all. Anyway, we had our team Christmas party last night and it was so much fun. Lots of laughter. I did grab a couple of screenshots. It was on Zoom, it was virtual. Um, and I grabbed a couple screenshots while people were working. So there's some heads down. And I thought, I have to remember to take a picture of everybody looking at the camera. And guess what? I am terrible at remembering to take photos. And last night was yet another case of that. But we had an awesome time. It was a ton of fun. So anyway, let's get crafting, shall we? Okay, so celebrate the miracle. This is the stamp set that I am going to use today. And as you can see, I mentioned there was a whole lot in this set, and there's well, happy on its own isn't necessarily a sentiment, but happy Hanukkah is. But there's a number of different words to use for sentiments. There's two full sentiments, I guess. Spin could be a full sentiment, but um, and then we've got Hanukkah spelled with the H and with the CH. So depending on what you're after, we have both of them, and we have them in cursive and we have them in block letters. So they've kind of covered it all there. And then we've got all sorts of images. The menorah has to be built. but it's not difficult to line up because it's a photopolymer set. And I don't know whether you can tell or not, but there's not very many stamps left in here because they're all out on blocks because we're going to use them today. But anyway, uh, it is in pieces so that you can change the colors, which is awesome. Uh, and as I say, it's easy to line up. So, okay, that's what we are going to use. So let's get at it, shall we? Okay, so the first card I'm going to do, I'm going to use Blueberry Bushel. I'm going to use that for a couple of the cards today. You'll see. Uh, but I have Blueberry Bushel, standard card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. Hello, Judy. Welcome. We are making some Hanukkah cards today. Oh, one thing I should have mentioned, in case anybody is looking for this, Celebrate the Miracle. This is the stamp set we're using. Sorry, my light, total glare. It is an online stamp set, so you won't find it in any of the catalogs, but you will see it online. Hello, Lorna. Welcome. So yes, if you are looking for the Hanukkah stamp set, you do need to look online. And you'll find it when you go to my online store. Okay, then we have a piece of boho blue, and it is, oh, it's a little bit, it's an odd measurement. Well, it's 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, or 5 1/8 by 3 7/8, because I wanted to have sort of full border here. Oops, but I forgot the, oh, nope, this card goes this way. I'll have a white border later. So this is a very narrow border, just a little bit of the boho blue that will show there on this card. Okay, because this will be 5 1/4. Nope, this looks like it's the same size. What the heck is going on here? Are these? Oh, that was the one I measured before. It's the same size as the last time I measured it. Okay, I thought I was so ready. So this is 5 by 3 3/4. 5 by 3 3/4. And this is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. So narrow border, white on top. You'll hopefully understand my small dilemma later with this sizing, because I reverse these two pieces on a future card. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. Okay, it really is the truth, but it sounds a little bit fabricated at the moment, doesn't it? Okay, so what are we going to do here? First thing we are going to do is find the strip of cardstock that we lost. Okay, so I'm going to put this across my white cardstock. So I don't need the whole thing, obviously, but I am going to stamp a little bit more than I need just so I'm ready for it. And I'm going to stamp this part in boho blue. And hopefully I will get this straight, even though I'm stamping a little bit from afar. Don't remember how many. I actually have almost made this card. I had all the components stamped and some of them put together. And then I stopped, and so now we're picking and moved on to the next card, because heaven forbid I should have cards completely made before I start this, right? That just, so not me, right? I guess I could have left that open, but anyway, so this is going to go onto here, and we will just trim it. This guy, it almost looks like my paper was a little bit wet there. My ink got a little bit thicker. Anyway, then I have this piece of white cardstock. It is 2 1/4 by 3. And I am going to pull out my Blueberry Bushel ink and stamp the menorah. I want to stamp this very close to the bottom, because it's I'm going to use pretty much the whole paper for this. So the bottom. Okay, there we go. Hopefully that's far enough down. I guess we'll see in a moment or two. And I am just, I think I'm on there are some stipple coats. I usually still have a couple of cards, so just going to get that a real quick clean off. And then I am going to come in with my boho blue again for the candles. So the candles already have the one candle raised, and the same thing with the flames that you'll see in just put those onto there. And then I have lemon lolly that I'm going to use for my candle flames. You can see here again that the flame is shaped to fit on each candle. So there we go. Oh dear. Oh, we got a little extra flame flickering there. Okay, I could try it again. Almost looks like you can see through this. Okay, so feeling that I have glued one down. This is part of the other card that I made, and then you don't have to watch me do that all over again because that's probably a little more than you you want. But I did mount this on a piece of blueberry bushel that is just 1/4 inch bigger all around, so it's 2.5 by 3 1/4. Okay, and this one this would fit on here, but I will redo that before I make that first card. So now I know why I didn't put it all together. Okay, not really, but handy that I did not. Okay, so I'm going to need that again because I am going to stamp a sentiment, but we need to know where everything is going first. So I am going to put some tape runner onto this piece. There. And then I am going to, I don't know whether I have extra. Not sure if I have extra tape runner on here or not. So we'll just put this on here in case I do. And then I'm going to line that up, put that on straight. The placement for this doesn't really matter other than you do want it on straight. Be my recommendation. But it's just going to be down towards the bottom. Does that look straight? Oh, that looks better. Okay, and then we will just snip this off. This was actually a piece of thick basic white that had a mark on it, so I didn't use it for a card base, and I thought, well, that's perfect. It can be the back of something that I'm just stamping on. So that's what it is. Okay, so now what we're going to do, this is going to go on here, and I have, where's my sentiment? I have sending love and light is my sentiment. Just want this to be right above. So I'm just going to step it right there. Okay. So there we go. That quick clean off. And now we can close this so we don't get any extra ink anywhere else. And we can put this all together. So I am going to use liquid glue on this because it is, oh gosh, I had ink on my thumb there. I don't know how that happened, but we saved it, I think, before we got it anywhere that we didn't want it. So narrow border, so I am using liquid glue because it'll give me a moment just to slide this into its final position. If you use tape runner, you stick it down and it's down. So this just gives you a little bit of wiggle room. a nice press. I'm going to flip it over so I can put a nice press. And then I'm going to put this on with dimensionals just to pop it up and give it a little poof or something. Don't back off. I know you can't see me. I'm just holding this over top of my trash bin when I say I'm taking the backs off, just because if I flip them or anything, they fall right into the bin, and they're not all over my house. They're only a little bit all over my house. Do you find that? Do you find dimensional backs in all sorts of places? That and gems, right? Because every now and again you'll go to pull a gem off of its sheet and flick, off it goes, and it's somewhere who knows where. And then you find it stuck to something interesting sometimes. Okay. And then we'll just put this onto here. And then we have it. And there we go. So this is where I have to fess up to a bit of a lack of knowledge about Judaism. I'm not sure. I think it's okay to put sparkle on here. I don't honestly know that, but it's hard. And Hanukkah is festive, so I think we're going to go with it because, you know, me and bling, right? Maybe we'll just do it right down in the bottom here. Then it won't overtake the card. Just a little poof, smile. We're shiny. Okay. Thanks, Janet. I'm glad you think that's a nice card. It's you know, I don't have a whole lot of Hanukkah cards, but I do like to have some, especially when I'm doing a craft sale, because you just don't know who's going to come. And I don't know how many people send Hanukkah cards, but hey, who knows, right? I just want to be ready for that. Okay, I have 3 card bases here for this next card. I'm not entirely certain why, but we'll go with it. Okay, next card, Knight of Navy. Standard card base again, 8.5 by 5.5, supported 4 1/4. And this is a piece of the Shining Brightly specialty paper. So we're going to use that in the navy. And then, oh, where's my piece of Berry Vanilla? Oh, dear. I seem to have lost it, but I think I have some. Oh, maybe this is actually my piece. It is. I set it aside with my scraps that weren't really scraps. So a piece of Berry Vanilla that is 2.5 by 3 1/4. And then we are going to mount this. I'll stamp on here, and then I'm going to mount it on this gold foil, which is just a 1/4 inch larger all around again. So 2 3/4 by 3.5. But look, do you do this with your fancy papers? You could do it with regular cardstock as well. I don't think of it all the time, but when I'm using specialty paper like foil or, you know, fancy things like that, perhaps, I punch something out of the middle. So I have taken my 2-inch circle punch and punched that circle out, and this will be used on another card somewhere. So it's not, you know, no one's going to know by the time we put this onto here and put this onto here. No one will have a clue that we punched something out. So it's a good way to just kind of stretch your crafting supplies. Okay, I think I can stamp right here. I think I am still in camera. So I am going to bring in, this time I'm going to use Knight of Navy. for my menorah. And this piece is a little bit larger than this one, but I'm going to add something to the top on this one. So I still want my menorah down here at the bottom. So we'll put it right there. Okay. And just give me a moment here to clean this off. I don't need it again, but I also don't want to lean in it or anything along those lines. So there we go. Good. And I'm just going to close this for a moment. Actually, while it's open, uh, what happened to my very vanilla cardstock is playing some games with me, it seems. I thought I had cut like 3 pieces of that. And now I don't know where they are, but I have, okay, so I need 1 inch. Look, see, I have a strip here, so we're all good. 1 inch. Okay, place, right? Maybe, oh, maybe it was the operator. 1 inch by 2 3/4. Okay, good. And then I have the Hanukkah, and I am using the capital H Hanukkah. I'm going to stamp that close to the bottom here. There we go. And then I have pulled out, remember we were talking about that little happy? We have happy. And I'm going to put that right into here. So we have happy Hanukkah. Okay. And now we are finished with the navy. I'm going to grab my, oh, we're done with this for a moment. Back to this guy, Smoky Slate. And I'm going to do the candles in Smoky Slate this time. Almost doesn't look clean. I haven't cleaned it off. Just give it another smush. Okay. Smoky Slate. Oh, that was dry. There. Oops, they're a little bit high, but when you're trying to line up, you want to be low-ish. You want to actually look like you're touching your knee because there is still seems to be a little gap. But and this time, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use Daffodil Delight for the flames, and I'm using that because it's a little bit darker than the Lemon Lolly. Put these flames on the candles. Okay. Then goes this guy up. I'm going to bring my Lemon Lolly back in. And I'm going to bring it. This paper's a little bit messy because I have been using my blending brushes a bit lately. So I'm bringing in Lemon Lolly, which is lighter than the Daffodil. I'm going to bring in my blending brush. And I'm just going to add a glow around. So it's quite light, but it's, hopefully you can see. I'll hold it up in just a moment. Just a little bit hard there. It's, oh, this looks quite light here. Okay. So it's the glow of the candles. Just for a little different look. Okay, I'll get this out of the way. And then, okay, so I have a gold border for my sentiment and the gold border for my image. So we'll get these attached. Oh, the only thing I mean, there is room here, but I'm going to go primarily across the top and the bottom. And then I will put some down the side. But before I stick it down, I'm just going to bring in my silicone mat in case it goes past this border, which I think it tends to do. So I don't want it to stick to my paper. So there we go. And yes, there's a little bit here, but that's okay. That's going to get stuck. Actually, maybe it's not going to get stuck down. Maybe we'll pop it up on dimensionals. I haven't quite decided yet. What do we think? We'll do this on dimensionals for sure. But, oh, maybe we want the menorah on dimensionals as well, right? I'm just going to put this paper. This specialty paper coordinated with the Oh Holy Night suite, and which was beautiful. But it works for this as well, doesn't it? Okay, now we just need to decide how we want to put it all together. And I think because these are very close in size, I don't think, well, it looks okay centered, doesn't it? Or we could do it off to the sides. I think that's okay as well. Or we could even overlap it a bit. Yeah, I think I like to see it all. Any thoughts? Center and center? Or to the left and to the right? Anybody out there have a preference? Off to the sides looks good. Okay, we'll do that then. Okay, now here's the next tricky question. We put this up on dimensionals. Should we put that one on dimensionals as well? I kind of think so. Not sure of the bottom that should be. Oh, okay. That's good to know, Janet. Perhaps the bottom of the menorah should not be covered. Again, you know, I always wanted to know more about um, Hanukkah and some of the Jewish traditions and stuff. And I've had mostly work acquaintances over the years that have been Jewish. So you learn a few little tidbits, but I've never spent a holiday season really with Jewish people to really dig in and learn about Hanukkah from I'll say from a family perspective. Um, I mean, I understand the 8 days of light and all that sort of thing, but I haven't lived it with with a friend or anything like that. And I always thought it would be very interesting to know. I had a boss who was Jewish, and he used to invite me to his Seder meals at Passover, and that was always so wonderful and interesting. But somehow I never got included in Hanukkah. Guess we weren't that close. Don't know too much, but your sister's Jewish, so you picked up a few things. Oh, okay. Wow. That's kind of like me. I've picked up a few things. I just I don't know all the yeses and nos and the ins and outs and all that, but uh, I always, of course, want to be respectful. So we won't cover it, and then we're safe. So there we go. Now I am not going to add any other gems to this, I don't think, because we've got shiny gold and all the rest of it right there. So I think we're just going to stop at that. And we'll move on to one more card that I have prepared. And for this one, oh, some big pieces coming. So we're back to the blueberry bushel. Oh, thanks, Janet. Um, Back to blueberry bushel, standard card base once again. Lost my bone folder. Press. Okay. And okay, so here's the justification for my dilemma over here, because now I have a piece of basic white cardstock that is 5¼ by 4. Oh, that is not folded well. Let me just fix that. Of course, if you can't fix it, you just chop it square, right? Let's just chop it. It'll be faster. Everything can be fixed, but this is faster. There we go. Now it lines up perfectly. Okay, so 5¼ by 4. So it is a standard layer size. And then I have a piece of boho blue that is 5⅛ by 3⅞. So exact same sizing as we had over here, just reversing the colors. Okay. So see, I was justified in being confused, right? That is my story. I will continue to stick with it because it's the best I can do. Okay, I need to get out some inks here, and I'm going to bring in my own mat. Okay, so I'm going to use Blueberry Bushel ink, and I have 4 squares. These are from the Stylish Shapes. I'm going to say it's the second from the smallest. Don't quote me for absolute certain, because I could be wrong, but I think that's what size it is. And then I am going to stamp some different symbols. Okay. I'm going to set all of these down. So about cleaning in them or cleaning them. Just the exact moment. Maybe. I put them jam side down though, so that I don't need them. Coins. Coins are almost too big for the square, but you can just tilt them a little and create all the depth they want to do on an angle, just because that's how it was in the picture on the cover of the stamp set. But then it'll fit better too. There we go. Okay. I am going to, nope, I'm not going to close. Well, yes, I am going to close this up for, well, let's see. How indecisive was that? So what I want to do, I have this great big long sentiment, celebrate the miracle. So that's what I want to use across the bottom. And then these are going to go at the top, just kind of spread out here. This sort of, I suppose I could glue them down right now. And that's not for sure, but I'm just going to set them there. And then this. Probably when it's sort of centered in space. So, or to put it up slightly because we might need a little sparkle on this part as well. There we go. I'm running out of space there to set all my inky stamps, but I think we're okay. All right. And then, yeah, I could do all of these on popped up. Sure, why not, eh? So just get a whole bunch of, I don't know that I really can hit all four corners with my dimensionals, but apparently I'm going to. Why, what do we got going on here? This is a funky sheet of dimensionals. There we go. So if you have not taken advantage of the last chance products, there are some wonderful discounted items that are still available, but everything is only while supplies last. So you don't want to wait too long on that. And if there's something that you really like, and there are unfortunately a number of items that are sold out already and no longer available. So hopefully you got everything that you wanted or really wanted a little while ago. And you're not disappointed. Go to see what you can get. I had someone contact me today. She was looking for a package of the Oh Holy Night Designer Series paper, and I actually happen to have one, so I'm able to help her out. But if I don't have it and it's sold out, then I didn't push those down. They are kind of stuck, but I don't want to give them the big squish until I get all of these in place and I feel that I've got them lined up the way I want them. Just trying to set them on my paper. Take a final look at it. I think it looks good. It's relatively straight. It's a handmade card. It's straight enough, right? Okay, there we go. Now, this is a very narrow border again, so I am going to use liquid blue on here. So I can shift it into place if I need to. Oh, that was pretty good right from the get-go, wasn't it? Just up a tiny smidge. Hey, I'm just going to leave it there because let's not mess with what looks darn close. Now, flat or popped up? I think just flat. Put this onto here. There we go. And I think I'm going to go back to these clear rhinestones again. And we'll just put these in a row down at the bottom. What if you are, well, if I am doing 3 gems like this. I like to do the center one first and then the two outside ones. I just find it a little bit easier to get them close to evenly spaced. It doesn't look quite. There we go. Okay, very close to evenly spaced. Okay, so let's take that out of the way, move that there. Bring these down here. And there you have it. Look at that. 3 Hanukkah cards. So if you need a Hanukkah set, as I said, this one is, it's marvelous. It has a lot, it just has a lot of options and choices and images and things. So let me join you. There we go. I am back. So those are the cards for today. I hope you like them. I hope you enjoyed watching me make them. Not too many adventures. I didn't go down too many scary paths today. But anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Love to have you along for the ride, and I hope we can craft again together really soon. Take care, everyone. Have an awesome rest of the day. Bye-bye.